Well, the Irish rowing revolution continued this summer with medals galore in Tokyo, from garden gym sessions during lockdown to an Olympic bronze medal. It's been some year.
One part of Ireland's Tokyo Fab Four, Aifric, is here showing off a little bit of bling, Aifric.
Bling this morning
Is it
as well.
the nicest bling you've ever had?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The heaviest, anyway.
It's
I couldn't
certainly
believe the weight of it.
Yeah.
Tommy was like, can I touch it? Can I touch it? Can I touch it?
It's an Olympic medal.
It's-
like, that is
Unbelievable. And it's not often I get to share a sofa with an elite sports star, I have to say, Aifric.
This is a first for you.
So has the achievement sunk in yet?
I don't think so, really. Like, it was only last night I collected Emily, one of the other girls in the boat, and we'd been apart, at this stage for a few weeks, and we were just like, God, it hasn't even really sunk in yet. It's mad. And, obviously we're always surrounded by each other, and it's just like a really high achieving competitive group. So Olympic medals, like, there's a few of them, so it's, doesn't really stand out. But then when you kind of step away and you go back to your friends and family and you kind of see the impact it's had on them, I think that's when you kind of realize
it did have such an impact.
Yeah.
You probably didn't realize it because you weren't aware of the excitement back at home, but everybody is getting up early in the morning to get this news coming through. Like, you're history makers.
Yeah.
You're the first Irish women to win a rowing medal. Like, that's something that maybe takes a little bit of time to sink in.
I think, that was definitely one of the standout things for us, that, when it all kind of calmed down, we started seeing all the things online. Like, the thing that stood out to me was that we only had 4 female Olympic medalists before us, and then just literally overnight, just doubled.
You doubled it.
Yeah, and then obviously when Kelly then got her medal too, moved up to 9. But I think that's probably the standout thing for us. Yeah.
And yourself and Fiona, your rowing mate, you're both from Galway.
Yeah.
First Olympic medals for Galway as well.
Yeah.
When you finally got back to Galway, was there a proper, like, oh my God, they're here?
Yeah. So Fiona went straight from the airport to Galway. I stayed the night in Dublin, and I could start to see, like, all the scenes coming up on Facebook, Instagram, and there was bonfires, there was just crowds and flags, and she was on this open top bus, and I was like laughing at her. I was like, oh my God, I'm mortified. And then my brother was kind of like, that's what you're getting tomorrow. And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Like, and then but when we arrived at the bus, I was like, I don't know, can I do this? But I kind of grabbed all my nephews and one of my friends, and we went up and spent about 3 hours waving.
How's your Rose of Tralee wave?
Yeah, I really had to.
Was it good? Can you show us? Can you show us your Rose? Oh, it's good.
That's
a good Rose of Tralee. Oh, go again. They didn't see that there. Go again, Aifric. Oh, Aifric.
You mentioned your nephews there and your brother. Like, that's what it's special about as well. Like, that you have that for your family to watch on, because they'll have seen the commitment that it's taken for you, the hard work that we don't see behind the scenes, and how much it's worth it.
Yeah, and I've been rowing for, I think, I was kind of counting up there last week, and I think 16 or 17 years at this stage. And, a lot of that was in Galway, but I left, about 6 or 7 years ago to go down to Cork and train with the group. So, a lot of that kind of was unseen by my kind of family and friends.
Can I ask you about that training regime, how it kicked on after the last Olympics, and how it was taken to a new level? How difficult was it?
Yeah, I think when the kind of new high performance director came in and we had a first look at the program, we were a bit like, oh my God, like we were a bit taken aback. But I think looking back now, we just had to trust the process. And like,
can you tell us? Can you explain what that program was?
Well, I suppose it's kind of hard to explain, but it's essentially kind of like all rowing teams will do kind of 3 to 2 sessions a day, 6-7 days a week. But it was more so the volume of each session was just so much more than anything we'd ever done. And you kind of look at it and you see Monday, Tuesday, am I gonna make it to Wednesday? And you just kind of keep showing up and you just keep doing it. And soon, kind of after a few weeks, once we got over the initial shock, we were like, okay, we're actually able to do this. And, and it did kind of slightly get maybe 2-3% harder than each year, just to keep challenging us. But
with all of this, one thing that I find quite interesting that people are finally starting to talk about, and there'll be some people watching this at home and they'll cringe at it, but it is the fact that when it comes to elite athletes and female elite athletes, the menstrual cycle has such a huge impact on what it is you're doing. You're spending time with 4 women. You're probably syncing up and all this. But finally, some work is being done in this area and how it can affect you. Is that something that in the Irish rowing team you're paying attention to now?
Definitely. I mean, at the top level, like obviously training is the most important thing, but we're looking at everything to try to get the most speed,
Yeah.
And like it's those kind of 1-2%, through our nutrition, and we look at we might measure our bloods, and you'd see, oh, my iron's a bit down, things like that. And I only kind of realized that when I went down to the elite center and they started monitoring all our bloods, and I could see that I was struggling a bit with my iron. But then, like, to further complicate things, like, obviously there's so many supplements out there for you to take, like, but I just couldn't stomach any of the supplements at all. I was almost like, I'm better off, like, fighting this kind of fatigue or whatever. That's like, I just kind of put up with it, essentially. And because I just couldn't stomach any of these supplements. And then I kind of came across Active Iron, which their whole, I suppose, their products is like kind and strong, where you can still absorb so much iron, and it's just way kinder on the gut, and that was just a game changer.
I just think it's interesting because so many girls leave sport in school because of they have to wear short skirts and fear of all that kind of stuff. It's insane.
And it just shows the level of detail that you have to go to, like checking bloods and these small things that can make such a big difference. And the fact that you're on here talking about it so openly will give that confidence to other girls and people watching as well. Listen, Aifric, it's been a pleasure to have you in this morning to bring your medal as well. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having
me.
Come on, Paris. Come on, Paris. 2024. Yes.
Oh, wow. Now, coming up, we've got the Irish Sisters taking to the stage at the Moulin Rouge.
And from the Mount Marcha in Paris to the rolling hills of Tuscany, we have an Italian-inspired dish in the kitchen.